All right, here's the next exercise. I want you to write the necessary code. So when we click this button, we see an alert. And here we have a close button. When we click it, the alert disappears. This is a great exercise for you to practice pretty much everything you have learned in this section. Now, let me give you a hint. On Bootstrap website, look at the alerts component. On the right side, you will find a link called dismissing. Now, down here, you can see that to make an alert dismissible, you need to add a class here called alert dismissible. You should also add a button. This is the close button with this class and other stuff. So spend a few minutes on this, then come back, see my solution. All right, this is so much fun. So here in the app component, right above our button, we're going to add an alert. And here, let's say my alert. Now, before going any further, I just want to test our implementation up to this point. I don't want to show or hide anything. I just want to make sure if we can see an alert. Beautiful. Now, we don't want to show this at all times. We want to show this only when this button is clicked. To do that, we need a state variable here in the app component that determines the visibility of the alert. So we want to render this part only if that variable is true. So here we need to use the state hook to declare a state variable. We initialize it to false, so our alert is initially hidden. Now this returns an array that we can destructure into two elements. We can call the first one alert visible, and the second one set alert visibility. You could call them anything, whatever you prefer. Now we want to render the alert only if alert is visible. Alert visible is true. So we wrap this in braces and perform a logical AND between alert visible and this expression. So alert visible AND. Okay? Now, when we click the button, instead of logging something on the console, we simply call set alert visibility to true. So set alert visibility to true. Let's see if our implementation is working. All right, now we click, and here's our alert. Beautiful. Let me explain how this works. So when we click on this button, this function is called. At this point, we set our state variable to true. So the state of this component is changed, and React will re-render this component and all its children. This is why we see the alert. Now we need to add the close button to the alert. So here on Bootstrap website, I'm going to copy some code. I'm going to grab this class so there are no typos. Let's add that to our alert component. Okay. We also need a close button. I'm going to copy that from this website as well. Paste it here. We just need to rename class to class name. Good. Now, once again, before we implement the hiding logic, first we want to test our application and make sure that we can see the close button. So one more time, click. Okay, here's the close button. Now the final part. When we click this button, we should notify the app component that the user clicked on this button. At that point, the app component will set the visibility of the alert to false, which will cause the app component and all its children to re-render. So to notify the parent or the consumer of this component that the user has clicked on the close button, here we need to add a new prop on close. So remember the convention, we start with the word on, and then we specify the event, in this case, close. This is going to be a function with no parameters that returns void. Now we need to add that here. And finally, when the user clicks on this button, so onClick, we simply call onClose. Now, more accurately, we are not calling this function. We're not calling it like this. We're just setting onClick to onClose. So onClose will be a function that is passed from the outside, from the parent. We pass that function to this prop. When the user clicks on the close button, React will call that function for us. Okay? Now, we have a compilation error in the app component because we haven't set the onClose prop. Now here we pass an error function and set alert visibility to false. As simple as that. Okay? Now, the final test. Click, click, lovely.